Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Voices of the Vic podcast, and it's a very special one today because all four of us chaps are here in person. I'm joined by Ben, Aiton, Joe Thomas and Cam Smart, and we're not copying, but we are sat outside the Mad Squirrel in Watford. The WD18 boys are inside doing their live podcast, and we sat down here after a 1-0 defeat to Norwich. First of all, let's go round everyone. Cam, you're next to me. How are you doing, mate? All good?
Yeah, I'm all right. I mean, the football is horse shit at the moment, and it has been for a little while now, but other than that, yeah, I'm doing all good.
Good, yes, it has been crap. Joe, you're checking the scores at the moment at 3 o'clock. You all good?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, I'm good. Obviously, it was a tough day at the office today, but obviously we come to expect it at the moment when Gino won't put his hand in his pocket. So, but it's nice to be here and having a drink with you all.
Yeah, it's a rarity that we all get together, isn't it? And Ben, I've spent the day with you in hospitality. A big thanks to John Parslow, by the way. I don't know if he still listens. I hope he does. He was our biggest fan in lockdown, but big thanks to him for gifting the tickets to myself and Ben. How's your day been, mate? You enjoyed it?
It's not been too bad, to be fair. We've saw Tommy Mooney do his speech. He came out with his stats. He did come up with one saying that Norwich City are the team in the Championship that have lost the most points from winning positions. So it kind of gave us false hopes. But yeah, it's been a lovely day. Saw Daniel Batman as well, and Chris Stark and Miles Jacobson. So there's been a few celebrities we've been rubbing shoulders with. But yeah, no, it's been a good day, mate. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I did this hospitality the last time we were in the Premier League when we played Arsenal. Me and my mate Dan did it, and it was just as good as it was today. So you'll have to apologise. We were a little bit out of sorts. Joe was just showing us a live league table, and as it stands, I'll tell you the time now. It's 23 minutes past 3 on the Saturday. We're down to 12th in the league, but we are still 3 points outside the playoffs, which is absolutely crazy. Let's start, as always, with the team moves. Cam, we saw a back four today, which I quite like. I think we're more stable with a back four. The back four was Andrews on the right, Larouche on the left, and then a centre-back partnership of Pollock and Abankwah. Now, whisper it quietly, but I quite like that partnership today. I thought they did brilliantly.
Yeah, they certainly complemented each other very well. I mean, I don't think anyone can predict what centre-backs Tom Cleverley is going to put out, and we had another 4 of them on the bench as well, so it really is a toss-up. But Tom's banged on and on and on about how he wants a bit of pace back there at centre-back, and you know, we've been told all season Kevin Caben, he's going to be the guy bringing the pace to our back line. But James Abankwah, I thought he did that fantastically today, and he certainly looks like a good addition, and he complements Matty very well, who, you know, he's not the quickest, but he's got all the other qualities you need. So yeah, good little partnership there, and I'd probably go and change with that for next time.
Yeah, and Ben, do you think we look more stable with a back four? Like Cam said, I think Abankwah come in today, and obviously we saw him on his debut. He played at right back, didn't he, against Derby, and we saw him in that more sort of comfortable centre-back role with Pollock today, where we've seen a number of players. We've seen Sierralta partner him, Pollock partner him. But do you think we look more comfortable with a back four, and would you be going with Abankwah into that next game, which I think is Sunderland, yeah?
Definitely. I thought we saw the best of James Abankwah today. I loved that bit in the first half or second half where he was ushering the ball out from Josh Sargent, showing his pace and strength to get in behind to put it out. But we're definitely more assured with a 4 at the back, and I think this is what Tom's trying to build on. We've seen it come in since the start of January. He's been flicking between the two formations, but yeah, definitely a 4 at the back is giving us more strength. And James Abankwah's partnership with Pollock, I thought we complemented each other really well today.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of the game itself, another fan walks past. We're getting sick of this. If you're listening to this and you're a fan of ours, leave us, please. We get mobbed everywhere. Obviously, I'm hoping you can. Oh, really? Oh, okay. There we go. They're Norwich fans that just walked past us. Then, obviously, all of that was sarcasm. Yeah. If you're listening, F you. every time we play Norwich, so I'm going to skip a lot out here because this is a very raw podcast. Their emotions are still raw and whatnot. But every time we play, I feel like the kid that you can hear in the background coming out of Vicarage Road. Every time we play Norwich, Joe, Josh Sargent just seems to have the game of his life, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he was given a lot of time and space on the ball today. Obviously, he's been out for Norwich for a few games, hasn't he? And he's come back and he's looked very lively today. He gave our back line a lot of problems. I can't really say too much at the moment about the goal because I've not seen a replay, but from what I've heard, it did look like there was a suspicion of offside. But yeah, I mean, I think overall, I think we coped with him. But it was inevitably he was going to score today because he loves a goal against Watford. So yeah, I wasn't shocked.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's jump to the red card because it didn't help Cam. That it's. Would you have called today a massive game in terms of the significance? Because if we win, we're in the playoffs, and obviously Norwich won, and they've jumped above us now. Are they in the playoffs? They're close to. They're just out of the playoffs. But would you have looked at today as a big game in terms of how we progress from this season? And secondly, Bio getting sent off. Absolutely stupendous from him, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have looked at it as a much bigger game than any of the others, to be honest. I mean, like it or not, we're always going to be sort of in and around the playoffs with the way teams just seem to be dropping points left, right and centre. So there's always going to be that opportunity. And next week we'll go to Sunderland and we'll have the chance to get up there again, and we'll be calling that a massive game. So it's it's a bit of a yo-yo up there at the moment. But in terms of the red card, first of all, I don't think that is ever a red card on any planet. I mean, he pushed him in the chest. It happens on every single corner.
Sorry, I've got to jump in. Okay. It's in his face. It's violent conduct. It's violent conduct.
Right.
It's a clear red card. It's a moment of stupidity, and he's let Tom down. He's let the club down. He's let the fans down, and he should be hanging his head in shame, getting in his motor.
He's going to say he should be hanging.
No, look, I mean, the angle I saw, it looked quite clearly like he pushed him in his chest. I mean, moment of stupidity, yes, absolutely, and he has let everyone down there, except me, because I don't ever want to see Vac and Bio play another second for us. And to be honest, I thought for the rest of that first half, besides the goal, we looked a lot better without him. And long may it continue. I'd rather have 10 men than have to watch Vac and Bio every week. So I'm not against this red card at all.
I said that about Sissoko. I'd rather play with 10 men than him on the pitch.
I mean, I just want to jump in and just say that I think for me, whether he's pushed him in the chest or in the face, it did look like from the replays I've seen it was in the face. But if he's pushed him in the chest, don't give the referee a decision to make.
Absolutely.
Like you've given you've done something. The geezer's gone down on the floor. The referee's looking at it and he's made a judgment call on what he's seen. So I mean, we know now that linesmen and referees communicate all the time, and I'm sure the linesman probably said he's seen something. So it's just stupid that when there's people that are keeping an eye on the game that you've done something as silly as that. But
I just think it was building to get to that moment anyway. Me and Mike obviously sat next to each other today, and we was watching all the corners in front of us, in front of the rookery, and the amount of times there was stop-start when they was trying to take a corner, all the grappling going on in the box, and it looked like it was getting a pretty heated on a few occasions. So it was building, and I think it was the same players involved in every single situation. So look, Bio's stupid and he's cost the team there. He was obviously bumped by the Norwich player, but the way he reacted, he's just let himself down. And I'm on the same lines here as Cam. Like we can't carry on having players like this who continue to let down the football club, especially in a time where we've just lost our 5th game in a row, or it's 4 home games in a row we've lost now, isn't it?
7 in 9, I think we've lost.
And we can't carry on in this tough period. Like, it's not doing Tom any favours, and we're meant to be totally connected. And Bio's completely let the team down there.
Yeah, I like that. Totally connected. Whilst looking at the programme, which says on the front, totally connected. I love that. Ben, sticking with you, does that confirm to you now that we need... There's 2 days left of the transfer window. Well, yeah, 2 full days left, if you like. Does that confirm to you that we need another striker
100%. You heard it from Rookery in the second half, and you wouldn't really get that reaction from the fans saying sign a striker. But the fans have noticed early doors months ago that we needed another striker, especially with Jefferson going back to Bournemouth as well. And look, he didn't do great at Watford, but at least he was an option coming off the bench. Now we've just got Doumbia, and as much as Doumbia is great and he's been doing well when he's coming off the bench, and I would have started him instead of Bayo today off the back of his performance at Coventry. We have to be in the market looking at a striker, but we know what we're going to happen. We're all Watford fans. We've been in this situation before. We're going to sign an unfit Emmanuel Dennis, who's not played a game of football since he's left Watford in May last year. He's going to come in, and then he's going to take 2-3 months to get up to match fit, and then he'll end up playing the last couple of games. But that's not good enough. We deserve better.
Yeah, Joe's trying to disrupt the flow of the podcast here. It's just showed us all, obviously, because we're recording and the 3 o'clock kickoffs, although it feels a lot later, Luton are winning against Sheffield Wednesday. So, yeah, the day's just getting worse and worse. But on the stroke of half-time, Cam, it was 1-0 Norwich, and it was Josh Sargent. I keep saying Sargent. Josh Sargent that got the goal. Of course it was. I actually said to Ben, and I should have done this before we hit record, I wanted to see how many goals he's got against Watford now, because there's a long list of players that whenever they come up against Watford, they always seem to score. David Nugent, Jamie Vardy, Tom Ince, yeah, we signed him, and he's shit now, so yeah. A hint of offside to you, maybe, Cam?
Maybe. I mean, I haven't seen a replay yet. Obviously, we've just got out the ground. But, yeah, the Rookery was certainly up in arms about that one, as they were pretty much every time the ref blew his whistle today. There's definitely a chance he could have been offside, but it's another free kick. I mean, we were undone by a free kick at Coventry last time out, and that one was straight down the middle, and I think Jonathan Bond should have done a lot better with that. But this time, Bond actually makes a very good save, and Norwich just recycle the play, and yeah, it falls to Sargent, and he won't score an easier goal against Watford in his life. So, yeah, really disappointing. But actually, the foul that gave away the free kick wasn't in any way, shape, or form a foul. Kayembe, I think that's the one time he did get the ball all game, and it's just so disappointing to see another game decided by a referee.
And Joe, you're almost our version of Stockley Park here, because you've got the goal on repeat at the moment. What's the outcome?
I actually think that he might just be being played onside by Ryan Andrews, if I'm being honest.
He's lying on the floor.
Oh, shock. Sorry, Philip Crouch, but we are going to have to slag him off on this one, I'm afraid.
Yeah, look, you can just see over the far side that he is just slightly, like Ryan's there. It's not the geezer on the floor, I think Chad Vakatsi. It looks like Ryan Andrews is just playing him onside, but it's so tight. I think if VAR's looking at it and they see Sargent's ahead with his head, then you'd probably be giving it offside, because a part of his body he can score with is slightly off. But, you know, we know in the Championship you don't get that kind of beauty, do you? So, yeah.
There we go, live VAR. If only this was a sort of cutting-edge technology that you heard on TV from time to time. Joe, Cam talked about Bonds, and I've skipped past a lot of stuff because this is going to be just a quick review of the game. But he made a very, very good save early on with his feet. That I could have very easily seen that go in. Do you think it was a right call to start Bond today, or would you have gone with the new guy instead?
I don't know. I can't say where. I can't say.
Sorry. The joys of live podcasting. I tried to hide a sneeze. Carry on.
Unbelievable.
There's no cutting in live podcasting.
I wouldn't say that it was necessarily the right call. I think. I mean, I don't know what's been done in training. From what I hear, that Selvik was there from Wednesday, so he's been in and around the squad for a few days. I don't know how involved he's been, whether he's just been kind of just saying his hellos and just kind of getting used to being around the training ground for now. Yeah. But you know, that save at the start kept us in it. I mean, if we'd have gone a goal down after 70 seconds, I think I looked at the clock, it would have been disastrous. But you know, it was a fantastic save. But you know, just on the back of that, obviously he was on his own in the 6-yard box with an opportunity like that early doors. And that's kind of how the rest of that first half was, wasn't it? For corners and stuff. Every time the ball came in the box, they had an opportunity to do something with it. Like we weren't really laying a glove. The marking was terrible, and it kind of lasted for that first half. Obviously, they didn't get a corner in the second half, so and it was quite boring from them after half time, I thought. But yeah,
I think they did get a corner in the second half.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, you'll have to check on your phone. Ben, I know I'm sort of jumping forward, then coming back and going forward again, but Vacuum Bio, that chance, sorry, the joys of, honestly, I keep saying this every week, the joys of live podcasting. Ben's obviously taken a video whilst Joe was showing the angle of the goal, and Ben's recorded it for our Instagram, but Vacuum Bio, he has to work the keeper from that header over, doesn't he?
Early doors, wasn't it? It was a good reaction from Watford after that first minute when we were nearly 1-0 down, but it's great work on the right hand side where Sissoko had an overlapping Ryan Andrews, got to a byline, great ball into a box, and Bio, I was surprised he won a few headers today, and I was putting it down to his new haircut, but I don't know whether he's got up a bit too early for this one and just headed it over the bar, but he has to be working the goalkeeper, he has to be hitting a target, and it's really poor as a striker to not hit the target and work the keeper, so really disappointed. But look, we're not going to have him playing for Watford again this season, are we? He's out for probably 3 games, and then look, Emmanuel Dennis is going to come in and he's going to take his spot, so happy days.
He's gone very Wilf Zaha with the new hair, hasn't he?
He has. I said to Ben noticed he had a haircut, and I said, you should see you should see how he looked when he played for Celtic. Yeah, he had short hair when he played for Celtic. So, Cam, I'll fast forward again. And Georgie Chakvedadze has to take that shot on first time it comes to him. And the reason I say that, if Angus Gunn's forced into a save, fucking God forbid, because Angus Gunn might as well have brought his deck chair and a copy of the fucking Daily Mail today. he had nothing to do, and this is what does my head in, because I don't care if Georgia hits that first time and he misses, at least work the keeper. Did we actually have a shot? Ryan Andrews maybe had one shot on target, didn't he? So we've not tested the keeper enough, but Georgie Chakvedadze has to shoot first time, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, that's the one area of Georgie's game that you really can criticise. In front of goal, he seems to either lose his composure, make the wrong decisions, but you know, I believe he's only on 2 goals this season, and you would just expect better from a player of that quality. I will say there was quite a debacle in the Rookery after that, because I mean, we all seemed to think it was a penalty from where we were, not because we thought it was a foul, but because we thought the referee pointed to the penalty spot.
Yeah.
He seemed to gesture that way, and in the end, after ages of waiting for the keeper to get back up, we thought we saw that it was actually a goal kick, so a lot of disappointment there, but you know, with that referee, anything was possible. But yeah, would expect a lot better from Georgie there.
And Joe, just a quick word on the referee. I don't like to bring up referees too often, because I believe it or not, I used to referee for quite some time, and I got to a sort of semi-decent level of officiating as an assistant. What was your thoughts on the referee today, Joe? Because he was quite something, wasn't he?
To be honest with you, he kind of set the tone early doors for me. Like, he was giving fouls when they weren't fouls, and that wasn't for Norwich. But I mean, there was a couple. Well, it did, but I mean, I don't know if you recall. Like, there was a thing on the halfway line where the ball was played forward and Pollock went down. That was never a foul on Pollock. He just kind of fell to the floor. There was a couple of others where I recall our players just falling down and Norwich getting free kicks. But yeah, it's a tough one, because you know, players will just go down. Players will go down like under the slightest of touches these days, especially when you get a push in the back, and that's what we were doing mostly in the second half, wasn't it? We were trying to get a foot in. The players were falling over. Referee was giving a free kick, but for me, I know he went down late, but in real time, if Tom Ince goes down when that contact happens in the box where he's driving in the box towards the end, that's a penalty for me. But don't have the touch and then decide you want to fall down a few seconds later, because it then ain't a penalty. So he made himself look a little bit stupid there. But yeah, it was a difficult game for the ref, and if I'm giving him a rating, I'd probably give him a 3 or 4 out of 10. It was pretty poor overall.
Yeah, that's pretty generous. If you heard us sort of talking in the background, then the reason being is Cam and Ben at the same time got a clip up. Who posted the clip, boys?
Oh, one of them was "Do not scratch your eyes."
Do not scratch your eyes, and then Malik WFC_. It would appear that Bio, I'm just watching it back now, Bio sort of pushes him. I don't know. I think that's the face.
Chest all day long.
I think he's pushed the chest, and then his arm's gone up into maybe his neck. I don't think he's touched his face.
Maybe his neck, but I think the problem is he's obviously alerted the referee that this number 11, who, by the way, I don't know if any Norwich fans will listen to this, and they've succeeded in rattling Watford fans, because he lived in my head rent-free, that number 11. In that second half, he was going down every touch. I was looking for the snipers in the crowd. I thought he'd been shot a couple of times. No idea. Emiliano, the one from Brentford.
Yeah, Bournemouth.
So Bournemouth, that's it. So
Both.
both. Yeah. So I saw obviously Bio was obviously alerting the referee to say, look, the referee. This number 11's sort of trying to grab my shirt, and then straight after that, he's just gone and pushed him. And you put your hand anywhere near his face or anywhere near, you just asking for trouble. So, really, really disappointed. I think, to be honest, we've covered probably our 2 best chances of the game, which was Georgie's and Vacuum Bio's. To credit us a little bit, I thought, considering we had 10 men, we pressed as much as we could. And I'll be honest, Ben, if I was a Norwich City fan coming out of that game, yes, we've just got the 3 points and we've won away and we're closer to the playoffs, but I'm maybe thinking, fucking hell, we could have took them to the sword, but we didn't.
Yeah, it was negative from Norwich, wasn't it, in that second half? Like, playing against 10-man Watford. Watford bossed that possession in the second half. I thought Imran Loza he controlled the game, and Norwich didn't look to get out of their own penalty box because they knew they'd just get everyone behind the ball and hit us on the counter. So a little disappointing from Norwich. They didn't really want to go on and get a second or a third, but I think that's what's going to happen with teams who are coming to Vicarage Road. They know they can come and maybe sit back on a 1-0 and defend it, because Watford really don't have that attacking threats, especially with Barr, who can win penalties and free kicks on the edge of a box, or Vatican have shots from distance. Look, we're playing Georgie at the moment, who's absolutely tired, and he looked tired again today, and I don't think we're that much of a threat. And looking back to earlier on in the season, Watford have probably been very lucky to get the amount of points we have done by scoring the odd goal to win it, and that luck's kind of ran out for Watford now. Norwich have basically done what they needed to do, and they got their job done.
Absolutely, and it doesn't get any easier from here, does it, boys? So the next game is Sunderland away, 12:30. Thanks, Sky. Leeds at home, Tuesday night, and Middlesbrough away, and then the Scum at home. I'll go round everyone quickly before we wrap up. So you've got Sunderland away, Leeds at home, Middlesbrough away, Scum at home. Out of the 4 games, how many points do you think we're going to get, Cam?
I mean, I hate to say it, especially because we've grouped Luton in there, but I think it is going to be 0 points.
I fucking knew you were going to say 0. 0? Joe, you think more than 0, or?
I'm going to say 3 or 4, but what I do want to say is that with the run of games coming up, that if taking Luton out in these next 3 games, I think if we fail to win in these next 3 games, I think it will be the end for Tom Cleverley.
Okay.
I think a new manager will be in place, and I think it'll be exactly like when Rob Edwards got the sack. Bilic came in. Obviously, everyone was, ecstatic that Bilic got a 4-0 win against the Scum coming in, and it'll be another perfect opportunity everyone they'll be hoping that the new manager comes in, gets a win, everyone forgives and forgets, and then just forgets about what they've just done to Tom Cleverley. But yeah,
possibly a little bit coincidental that the Spanish coach from Javi's team has come back now for the backroom staff. Putting 2 and 2 together, I might be getting 5. Ben, so Joe is going to go 3 or 4 points. How many points are you going over the next 4 games?
2. I think I can't really see us winning. It's such a hard run of fixtures, and I think the question to be asked is how many games do you think Tom Cleverley's going to get out of these next 4 games? Yeah. Our run of form is awful at the moment. It's not down to Tom Cleverley, but we all know how Gino Pozzo acts. So do we all think that Tom's going to last till to Luton, or what game do you think they're going to make a decision? Ideally, I'd like to see him given at least the next 3 games, especially off the back of the next transfer window. But it's difficult, and it's a poor time to be a Watford fan at the moment.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with. I think we don't tend to do well at Sunderland away, so I can't see us getting anything there. Scum at home, I think Matt Bloomfield's on hiding to nothing there. I'm going to sit my neck out in the line and say 3 points there. No. Cam's rolling his eyes, but
3 points where?
At home.
So what? Leeds?
No, Luton.
Oh, Luton. Right.
Yeah, because Matt Bloomfield's not done very well. Do you know what? As well, I'm going to go with Joe. I'm going to go 4. I think we draw with Leeds at home. Leeds away from home are very, very rocky. I know a lad who's a Leeds fan, and he's got an away season ticket, and he dreads going to watch Leeds at home. I mean, look at that Burnley game the other night, for example. My Christ. Anyone actually go in and watch that? Yeah, well, Joe's actually just showing Cam's screenshot here. Portsmouth 0, Burnley 0. No shots or anything. So, just before we finish, today was the first game since the Do Not Scratch Your Eyes initiative of the Shine a Light. Would we call it a protest or? A movement. Ben's got his flashlight on now to show solidarity.
There's more on now than there were in the ground.
Yeah, a little bit. There were quite a few in the family stand. There was a few dotted around in the rookery as well. And to be fair, me and Ben were sat up in the gods. We were sat in the upper Graham Taylor, a few sort of rows across from where Gino and co would sit. And there were a few on the left-hand side of where they sit that were pointing it to their right-hand side. So fair play, it was enough. And I think they've come under a lot of stick. We popped the tweet out in the week sort of saying that we're sort of in solidarity with them, and we'll share their thoughts and whatnot. And we got quite a few tweets back to say it was embarrassing, etc. And listen, I don't think it's meant as a protest. It's not meant as anything angry. It's more, it's more literally, as it says on the tin, it is shining a light on the fact that Gino Pozzo hasn't invested as much as he should have, or hasn't taken as much care of the squad as he should have in the last few years. And for me, that is massive.
It also gets a conversation started as well, because now it wasn't a massive amount of a stadium shining a light, but there's going to be people in that stadium now going, why were they shining a light? It gets a conversation started now, so hopefully now there's more talk about what's going on behind the scenes at Watford Football Club. And look, we heard chants today saying, Gino Pozzo, get out of our club. We've never heard that in that amount of noise or togetherness from a large section of the Watford ground now. There's a lot of unrest amongst the Watford fans towards Gino Pozzo and Scott Duxbury now, so it's all about that conversation. It's got started. Yes, it was a 12:30 kickoff, but you could still make the lights out. It was quite a darkish day today. I think we had dark clouds everywhere, so it's obviously it's just got the ball rolling now, and we have to carry this on. This isn't just a one-off thing. This is what we've got to continue doing week in, week out.
Yeah, and we're very proud to say that we're joined by the man who reckons he started the Gino Pozzo get out of our club chant. He's absolutely oblivious to the fact that I'm talking about him, but yeah. Okay, well, Joe reckons he was the one that started that, so fair play. But yeah, listen, we messaged Sky. I think Justin from Do Not Scratch Your Eyes has got contacts with Sky as well. So Sky were aware of the fact that it was seen as a movement against the owner, and it wasn't a rallying cry of support for the team. So I don't know if anyone watched Sky. What did they say? Did the cameras even pick up on it? I don't know. But Cam, you just wanted to say something, did you?
Yeah, I mean, I mainly wanted to echo what Ben said, and Do Not Scratch Your Eyes said on their own pod that it's not a protest, and they don't really believe that shining a light is going to incite change, but they just wanted to get a feel for, you know, who's on board with this. You know, we've seen away from home that we can be loud chanting about Gino, and now the Rookery, even on a good day, can be very, very quiet. But they just wanted to see, are we all on the same page? And they wanted to send that message, you know, that we're not happy. And the result of the lights, and it wasn't many people, it was more than I thought it would be.
A few hundred, wasn't it?
Yeah, a few hundred. It wasn't 10% of the capacity, not close to that, but you could see it. It was still noticeable. And as a result of that, we were chanting, at least half the Rookery was chanting, we want Pozzo out. And, you know, it's not going to be the final form of protest, but this is a good start on the road to, you know, making sure we can do something about these owners, just holding them accountable. It's really good to see that we are finally voicing our concerns about it.
There's also a few Norwich fans with their flashlights.
Yeah, there's always them lot, but I think that's quite a fitting way to end the podcast. And in true Voices of the Vic fashion, we all sat down and said, yeah, we'll do a quick sort of 10-15 minutes, but we've been going for 30 minutes, and hopefully it's something that I'm able to edit down. So I'm stopping in Watford tonight. And hopefully I'll be able to edit it down from a hotel room and put it out. So if you've enjoyed this chat, please do leave it a like. I'm going to try and get it out on YouTube as well, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. We're well over the 600 subscribers mark, and we'll be back. I tell you when we'll be back. Oh yes, before we do leave, I am running the Watford 10k tomorrow, which is another 6 miles in the bank for the WD18 Cup fundraiser. Cam, did you do part run today? I did. And you did 5 miles the other day, so there's another 8 miles on the clock as well. So we'll put an update out on Sunday evening to update you guys as to where we're at. We have received a couple more donations, so thank you very much for that. Any donations you can spare will be hugely appreciated. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this episode, please do leave it a like. And until next time, come on, you Horns.